As Yuuko Yoshida awakens, she's shocked to discover that a normal girl like her has grown horns and a tail. To Yuko's surprise, she learns her family belongs to the Dark Clan that was defeated by the rival Light Clan. It led to their powers being sealed away and cursed the demons to live as normal humans in poverty. In order to redeem her clan's reputation and their powers, Yuuko is given the daunting task of defeating the town's beloved magical girl, Momo Chiyoda. And thus begins a most entertaining tale of the demon girl next door. A normal 15-year-old girl, Yuuko Yoshida, has a peculiar dream where a strange girl with horns and a tail appears, urging her to defeat a magical girl and restore their clan's lost glory. The girl, introducing herself as Lilith, tries to wake Yuuko up and then kicks her out of bed, declaring her an unworthy successor. Yuuko wakes up, perplexed by the strange dream, only to find horns and a tail on her body when she looks in the bathroom mirror. Alarmed, she rushes to her mother Seiko and learns that they are descendants of a dark clan that was defeated by the opposing Light Clan. The magical priests sealed away their powers and cursed them to a life of poverty, living on a meager monthly income of 40,000 yen. Seiko reveals to Yuuko that her mission is to defeat a magical girl and restore their clan's powers, lifting the curse. She also tells Yuuko about the demon ancestor statue, which Seiko uses as a doorstop. Yuuko's mother instructs her to offer it the magical girl's blood. Yuuko is confused at first, but then gets intrigued by the possibility of growing taller and eating whatever she wants if the curse is lifted. Seiko reports to the demon directory that Yuuko has caused a lapse in the seal and has become a demon. She gives her daughter the name Shadow Mistress. Yuuko then sets out to find the magical girl and accidentally knocks over the ancestor statue, but she manages to catch it before it breaks. While lost in thought, a truck is about to hit her when a girl walking by transforms into a magical girl and saves her. She advises the demon girl to be more careful next time. Yuuko instead shows her the fork Seiko gave as a weapon. The magical girl misunderstands it, offering her a sandwich in return. Yuuko is happy but feels humiliated, realizing that she took pity on her. She runs away, telling the magical girl not to think she won. The next day at school, Yuuko's friend and classmate Anri Sada notices her horns, and it confirms that the previous day wasn't a dream. Yuuko explains her situation, and Anri, along with another friend Shion Ogura, reveals that there is a magical girl named Momo Chiyoda in Class A. Yuuko goes to the class and finds out that it is the same girl who saved her life. Still, she challenges Momo to a fight, only to fail miserably, and her punches don't hurt the magical girl. She ends up being lectured by Momo on how to punch properly. However, Yuuko challenges the magical girl again to fight on the weekend. The Shadow Mistress, Yuuko Yoshida, sees herself defeating the pink-haired magical girl Momo Chiyoda, but soon realizes that it was just a daydream. In reality, she had been soundly defeated by Momo, her mortal enemy. Later, Yuuko discusses her defeat with her classmate Anri, admitting that she charged in without proper training or preparation. Yuuko acknowledges that she is not strong enough to take on level 99 magical girl as a level 1 demon girl. Yuuko decides to train until she is strong enough to be a worthy opponent for Momo or find a weaker magical girl to challenge. However, her plans to train are disrupted when Momo unexpectedly shows up in her classroom, and Yuuko challenges her to a duel on the weekend. On the day of the duel, she discovers that Momo had waited both Saturday and Sunday for the fight, as Yuuko had not specified the date. Momo insists that they warm up before the battle, and they end up having an all-day running session instead. Yuuko ends up taking the train home as it gets dark, and she borrows money from Momo to pay for the ride. The next day, Yuuko's mother gives her an allowance of 500 yen to defeat the magical girl. Excited to finally have some money, Yuuko decides to make a weapon, but finds out that it's too expensive. Instead, she wastes her allowance on unnecessary items and ends up with nothing. Meanwhile, another demon watches Yuuko from an old television and decides to intervene, calling her a dunce and saying that she needs to take things more seriously. While Yuuko is fast asleep, she once again encounters Lilith in her dreams. She reveals herself as Yuuko's ancestor and the founder of the Dark Clan. Curious, Yuuko inquires if Lilith had ever defeated the Light Clan, but she avoids the question. Yuuko interprets that Lilith had never seen success too. Unsure if she is still dreaming, Yuuko asks Lilith about it. The latter clarifies that she is invading the deepest parts of Yuuko's consciousness, but suggests that the little girl treat it as a dream for better understanding. Lilith then claims that she has been observing Yuuko from the demon god statue and awards her a mere 5 points out of 100. Furthermore, Lilith explains that the Dark Clan has the power to enter other people's dreams and manipulate them, but connecting with Yuuko's dream was particularly challenging due to her weak sensors. Seiko interrupts the dream and wakes Yuuko up, but not before Lilith warns her that her memories will be unstable upon waking and advises her to jot everything down immediately. Upon waking, Yuuko immediately asks for a notebook to document her dream. However, her mother asks her to write a few things for her as well, causing Yuuko to forget what Lilith said. Later, while practicing throwing objects to defeat Momo, Ryoko suggests that Yuuko use a projectile weapon. At school the next day, she shares her latest weapon-making project with her friends when Momo suddenly enters the classroom. Upon hearing about Yuuko's desire to create a projectile weapon, the magical girl takes her to an abandoned factory that she owns. Momo explains that there is no need for such a weapon, as Yuuko must have some magic ability within her. She magically conjures a wand for Yuuko to practice with. Momo explains that she is passionate about training Yuuko because other magical girls are not as easygoing and can even boil her alive. After multiple attempts, Yuuko finally creates a small ball of magic, but Momo comments that it will merely feel like an injection. As the ball rebounds towards Yuuko, she panics and runs away, but Momo persists and runs after her. While Yuuko is at school diligently offering food to her ancestor statue, Momo joins her. Curiosity leads her to examine the statue closely, revealing a concealed switch at its base. Up until this moment, Momo is unaware of the statue that Yuuko carries around. Intrigued, she impulsively flips the switch, unknowingly triggering an extraordinary chain of events. The switch serves as a catalyst, allowing the spirit of Lilith to seize control of Yuuko's body. The ancestor, now inhabiting the demon girl's consciousness, explains that all the necessary conditions for possession have been fulfilled. An ample food offering, strong signals, favorable weather, and the act of flipping the switch. However, to Lilith's disappointment, Yuuko's body proves far too feeble to withstand Momo's formidable presence. Struggling with even the simplest tasks, Lilith realizes her vulnerability as Momo approaches. In a desperate plea, the demon ancestor begs for a final wish. Abruptly, Yuuko regains consciousness, finding herself back in her own body, seated in a tranquil spa. Unbeknownst to her, Lilith's parting request had been to experience the indulgence of a spa and hot springs retreat. Consequently, Yuuko finds herself indebted to Momo, further complicating their relationship. The following day at school, Anri informs Yuuko of a job opportunity, motivating her to embark on a part-time venture, selling wieners in order to repay Momo. As Yuuko starts her new endeavor, the magical girl pays her an unexpected visit. Amidst their conversation, a mishap occurs, causing Yuuko to inadvertently knock over a plate filled with wieners. In a swift and astonishing display, Momo transforms herself to rescue the falling sausages, her movements imbued with an unparalleled agility. Expressing gratitude, Momo credits Yuuko for unwittingly enhancing her strength, as she has never experienced such newfound energy before. After some time, Yuuko manages to save enough money to repay Momo's debt. However, the magical girl has a different plan. She suggests that Yuuko pay her back in installments and use the remaining amount for herself and her family. Yuuko agrees, especially when Momo offers her free food. It is during this time that Yuuko learns that Momo lives alone and has no family. After school, the magical girl accompanies Yuuko as she goes shopping with her younger sister, Ryoko. They introduce Momo as Yuuko's best friend, concealing the fact that she is their enemy. While Ryoko contemplates what to get, thoughts of her own family and Yuuko's situation occupy her mind. However, Momo notices that Ryoko has her eyes on a camera. She informs Yuuko about it, and the latter decides to use her money to buy the camera for her little sister. During this time, Ryoko and Momo reveal to Yuuko that her tail changes shape based on her emotions, leaving her astonished. Ryoko eagerly receives the camera and asks for a picture of Momo and Yuuko together as the first photograph. The magical girl promises to print the photos with her printer and shares her knowledge about other technologies with Ryoko. The next day, Momo offers Yuuko her old laptop, which she has loaded with various graphic programs. She wants to give it to Yuuko's little sister, as she seems to be interested in technology. Momo entrusts Yuuko with the responsibility of keeping the laptop safe until she can deliver it to Ryoko, emphasizing that she must not drop it or spill water on it. Yuuko faces numerous challenges along the way. She encounters her friend Anri and another schoolmate who offer her what appears to be a ball-shaped food meant to test a recipe that supposedly strengthens demons. Yuuko eventually reaches near her home but is afraid of the dog in her way. However, as she is feeling overwhelmed, Yuuko acquires a new transformation called Crisis Management, granting her magical powers. However, she feels self-conscious due to the revealing clothes Yuuko now wears after the transformation. Despite her shyness, she manages to transform back and arrive home safely with the laptop, only to stumble upon her ancestor statue. In her moment of distraction, the laptop falls to the ground, leading to a series of accidents. Ryoko steps on a laptop bag and their mother accidentally pours water on it. As Yuuko opens the bag, she discovers a note from Momo explaining that she had taken precautions to protect the laptop in advance, rendering her efforts unnecessary. Annoyed and frustrated, Yuuko curses Momo for causing her unnecessary stress. While Yuuko is asleep, Lilith infiltrates her consciousness easily, as the demon girl is now stronger than before. The ancestor then instructs Yuuko to enter Momo's consciousness and manipulate her into giving some blood. Yuuko is transported into Momo's subconscious, where she finds herself tidying up the murky darkness surrounding Momo's dreams along with her. The following day, when Yuuko and Momo meet on their way to school, the former is apprehensive, fearing that the magical girl might remember what happened. However, Momo only recalls fragments of her dreams and has no recollection of Yuuko's presence. Yet she appears sickly, pale, and devoid of energy. Overcome by a fever, Momo is unable to even walk properly, prompting Yuuko to take her back home and skip school. As Yuuko sees Momo's house, she becomes impressed with all of the tech there. Once inside, Yuuko opens the refrigerator in search of ice and discovers a plate with peculiar meat. Embarrassed, Momo hurriedly tries to hide it but ends up failing. The magical girl explains that she attempted to make hamburger steak for Yuuko, but her efforts proved unsuccessful. Despite the mishap, Yuuko consumes the food and finds it surprisingly delicious. She also extends an invitation to Momo, welcoming her to her house to enjoy meals cooked by Yuuko's mother. As Yuuko gently places Momo on the sofa, she notices a cut on Momo's hand, presumably from the earlier fall. Yuuko wipes away some blood from Momo's wrist and unknowingly carries the cloth home, unintentionally placing it alongside the statue of her ancestor. Unbeknownst to her, this act breaks a seal, allowing Lilith to communicate directly through the statue. When Momo wakes up and realizes her blood has been taken, she rushes to Yuuko's house. However, Momo soon discovers that it was an accidental occurrence. The magical girl also explains that she was never able to locate Yuuko's home before due to the barrier, which was inadvertently broken when Yuuko invited her over. After coming inside the house and having some delicious soup, Momo explains that although only a small amount of blood was taken, it has significantly weakened her magical power. She informs Yuuko that Momo is responsible for protecting the city with her powers, and maintaining peace will become increasingly challenging without her full strength. The magical girl implores Yuuko to assist her in safeguarding the city, who finds it weird for a demon girl to do so. And on this note, our recap comes to an end. What an interesting story of a friendship between two of the most opposite clans. If you enjoyed it, drop us a like, comment what you think down below, and subscribe to Anime Soreio for more awesome animes like this recapped on your feed. With that said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace!